I come out and I help them and try to form a food distribution here for the Eva place. They didn't have this. So we do this every month and it's just awesome. I mean, right now, our numbers, it's at 10 o'clock and we're up to 400.
Oh, really?
We have more cars, about 125 waiting there.
Oh, really?
So I think we'll finish up with over 500.
Wow.
We see an increase now because of the COVID, an increase because of the holidays are coming by.
Oh, I see.
And so it's more than we expected.
Why is it increasing because of the holidays?
I think what it is because people are probably still unemployed. They have money, but they can't use their money for food. They rather use it to pay rent and
Right.
so they have to come here and get food. It will help them to get by. We are providing food for every family that comes in line.
And I should have asked you earlier to introduce yourself. I'm sorry about who are you and where are you from?
Patty Kahanamokuturia. I'm from the Nanakuli area.
From Nanakuli?
Yes.
And you're here on what? On behalf of what
My
organization?
nonprofit, Waianae Coast Community Foundation. So we are blessed that the CARES funds and our congressman and everybody who's fighting for our islands, that we can get this food from Hawaii Food Bank.
Yeah, well, what I'm really happy about is, you know, sometimes when you sit in D.C. and you're making these decisions, and I have my coat and tie on, and I'm on the floor of the House, you don't actually know how it's going to translate once it leaves Congress. And you hope that it gets to communities. So here I can see that it all is getting to the community, so that makes me really happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we do after that, we're done. Some of the leftovers we bag it and we take it to some of our kupunas that can't come out. They don't have vehicles, so we try to get to their.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your great work.
Thank you for all you do in Washington. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all you do too.
Thank you, sir. All right.
I've known you for a long, long time.
I know. He was my
you're still
congressman.
kicking, man.
Why not?
All right.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Thank you so much. Aloha.
How's your pineapple supplies here today? All right. Wow, what kind of fish is that? Ahi. Oh, what's that? Swordfish? What is naragi? Where are you from? You from over here?
Yeah, I have a beach.
You born and raised?
I was born and raised in American Samoa.
Oh, I see.
I left there in 1963.
63 and came here.
And I went in the military.
Did you have family over here when you came here in 63?
Plenty.
Oh, plenty already. In 63 they were already here. And then you went into the military.
I couldn't recognize you, Congressman.
Yeah.
I couldn't see your mess.
Oh, okay. I guess you can tell from my eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're a good man.
I appreciate that.
Stand up for
all right.
people.
Okay, see you later.
Take care of that.
Salinas, California. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I know. I get hungry when I come down here. Tell me what we're doing here today.
So today we're at Lighthouse Outreach is Ohana Produce Plus Distribution.
And you're with the food bank,
I'm with
right?
the Hawaii Food Bank.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? And
so my name is Kim Bartenstein and I'm the Director of Mission and Quality Assurance. So I'm here today assisting Lighthouse. We also have Surfing the Nations who's helping us. They're doing all the check-in for Pastor Joe. And we have a volunteer group from Revolution and another volunteer group from UFC. And we all come together to make sure that we can serve our community. So we're doing 600 pre-registered cars today, or households.
I think I handed out 600 minimum already, but there's plenty more behind me.
Yes.
There must be more than 600, you think?
Well, it's 600 households that can sign up. Yeah, households.
I see.
So yeah.
And so tell me, so the food is all donated to the Hawaii Food Bank, which is a big, nonprofit.
Right.
And then the Hawaii Food Bank works with the partners in the community to hand the food out.
Right.
How many do you think you've helped out since
Gosh,
COVID-19
I don't
started?
even know a number, but it's been a lot and a lot of households that need our help. So we're just out there every single day. Today we have fish from the Hawaii, the fish guys
Yeah, the fish
that are
guys.
giving us fish. So that's from the
Yeah,
CARES
we
Act
got
money.
a good
We have
menu today.
USDA
I was
today.
handing out Kalua pig
Kalua
over there.
pig, yeah, we purchased Kalua pig
Fish,
today. So
all
we
kinds.
have USDA pork patties. We
Uh-huh.
have great produce from Hawaii Farm Bureau and their partners. So yeah, we do. Right now today we're doing 4 distributions on the island
Oh,
right
really?
now. of
Where
this
else
type.
besides here?
So
This
we
is in
have
Waipio.
Calvary Assembly of God, and then we have our lighthouse here today, and we have one more. And my brain is just
That's
not
no worries.
functioning right
no
now, but we
worries.
do. So it's really great because we're not just servicing in one part of the state
Yeah.
or the island. We're all over the place.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your really good work. Nice to be
Okay,
with you.
Thank you.
Aloha. Hey, Pastor.
Right on. We established this church around 1996
And where is the church?
in Waipahu,
Waipahu.
94-230 Leokani Street.
I see. And then the Waipahu is mostly where the congregation is, or all over?
We have 16 churches around the United States and 5 in the international doing the same thing.
I see.
God gave me a vision of serving others. Love
I'm
God
sorry.
and love others.
What is your full name? I didn't actually ask you that up
Oh,
front.
my full name is Reverend Joe Hunkin, CEO of the Lighthouse Outreach Center. I pass the torch to my son. He's my pastor now.
I see.
And
Where are
I'm
you from?
running-
You're from
I'm
born
from
and raised
American
Hawaii?
Samoa.
Samoa.
Yeah,
So did
Hunkin
you,
is from Scottish.
Hunkin.
Annie is my cousin.
Oh, Annie is your cousin.
He was my cousin.
So I got to know Annie when I was in
I
Washington,
know.
D.C. as a young man.
He talked to me about you
And
guys.
he and I were on the football team there.
Great man.
He was a much better player than I was. He served Samoa well for many decades.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And so how many people you have in your congregation here?
When right here, we get about 22 family right now. What I'm doing, I train them, become a pastor under me. I send them out.
Oh, really? All over?
Yeah, all over. Like I said, 16 in the United States.
yeah.
We get 2 in Hilo, Lighthouse in Hilo, doing
really?
the same thing.
Oh.
1 in Maui, and we're going to open another one in Kauai.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
cool.
after the
So what are you
pandemic.
doing here? How did you decide? How did you and your church
When,
decide to start helping out
There
like
you go.
this?
When we started, me and my wife from my pocket, we went shopping from the food bank, and we came to the church and give out to the people. So when we keep on doing that, I think the food bank find out where's my heart, and I become the member of the board of the food bank.
Oh, really? You're a member of the board now? Oh.
No, the reason why I left, I travel so much time,
Yeah.
missing a lot of meetings.
Sure.
But still now, it's a bond between us and the food bank.
Well, hey, thanks so
feel-
much for letting me join you a little bit here. I gotta go, but
It's an honor to have you guys here with us.
No, I'm sorry it's so short, but I'll try to come back and
No problem.
do it. Okay.
Thank you what
Right
you're
on.
doing
Okay. All
for
right.
Hawaii.
Aloha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I salute you.
You working?
Oh, very hard.
Uh-huh.
So we actually created an organization called Theater Fighters, and so we've been doing, since everybody's been laid off,
Freedom Fighters.
Theater Fighters.
Freedom Fighters.
So what we've done was raise money to kind of help go ahead and buy food from our local businesses and then give it back to the hospital.
Oh, I see.
And then we also decided to start working and giving back to the community as well. So it's been ongoing. Even though we did open for a couple of months, we kind of kept it going throughout.
Oh, all right. And that's all from the UFC gym?
Just the UFC
did
Gym
that?
Waikale, yeah.
Yeah, I see. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for your work. I'm glad I was able to finally
No,
do
I mean,
this.
it's been a labor of love, literally.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I mean, I just, all of the cars that come and come and come.
It's
hard to believe.
heartbreaking when you actually see your gym members, but it hurts even more when you actually see your team members come through. And that's one of the things, and we're just anticipating, hoping that by next week, Wednesday, we get the go-ahead to open. But now with tourism coming in, which we don't mind having, we think it's fantastic that everybody's able to work. But, Now it's just like, okay, well, all these standards, all these criteria needs to be met. And I understand overall health.
Yeah.
Because we're part of that.
Yeah.
We're actually preventing, the worsening
Right.
of the symptoms. So if we're allowed
A lot of
to
the
do
rest
that,
of the country gyms are open
oh,
now.
totally. We're the only ones
Yeah.
right now. So it is very hurtful knowing that we're here to help bridge that gap. But then yet, mental health, physical ailments, it all hurts.
I get it. All right. Well,
All
thanks so
right,
much.
thanks for
Nice to see you. Cars, man. A lot of people. Endless line all the way around. Okay, we're here from the great city council member from this district, Brandon Elefante. Okay, now we've got Representative Greg Takayama from, I think, from Pearl City. Are we actually in your district here?
No, we're right next to my district.
Now I am here with State Senator Bennett Misalucha. Bennett, first of all, congratulations on your election win. Here with Representative Aaron Ling Johansson. Aaron, aloha, good to see you.
Good morning, Congressman.
Thank you so much for letting me join you. We're in your representative district right now.
We are, and yours.
I'm here with Senator Clarence Nishihara. How many terms are you in now?
Gee, must be 4.
4 terms? Like
Yeah.
you're I forget now, you're in the middle of your 4th term?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of my last term, which is 16 years already.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
So
This will be my last term.
this will be your last
Yeah.
term. I mean, there's no term limits.
2022.
There's no term limits.
No,
You just
but
decided power.
I'm terming myself out at 2022.
I see.
My wife said, we
Well,
had
nothing
enough of
like
this.
nothing like finishing off your career, the hardest
Oh, yeah.
hardest time for our state, and
Yeah.
during your career, I would expect. Huh?
Really.
Yeah. Aloha, Brandon. How's it
Hello,
going?
Congressman Case. Good.
Good to see you. Tell me a little bit about what's happening here today.
Well, today is a collaborative effort between different organizations in the Aiel Pro City community coming together and working with Aloha Harvest and all the elected officials, including yourself, Congressman, to
Yeah, we've got all branches of government here today. As
We
a matter
do.
of fact, along with a bunch of great community organizations, the Lions, IAEA, Pro City,
Yep.
Boy Scouts, the Raiders, right? No, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. What's their nickname? Pro City.
Pro City Chargers.
Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I lost a bunch of votes on that one.
It's okay. They know who you are.
Close.
They know who you are. Yeah, so it's coming together, and this is really the brainchild idea of Senator Misalucha and working with the different organizations to come together to really feed the families in need. So today we're going to be serving 400 boxes or meals for families, and we're very grateful to have over 100 volunteers here today.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So tell me, just refresh everybody on where does your district go from to? What do you cover?
So I cover Aiel, Pro City, and Waipahu on the city council. It's about 100,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you assess kind of the overall impact of COVID-19 on your district and the
It's been
needs?
very impactful, especially for small businesses and families, out of work. And it's been hard to manage that. And so we're hoping that, we can come out of this, find a vaccine, and come forward with this and rebuild our economy from that.
So what's your agenda? The city council is starting up again. You got a brand new council going, or what do you got? Five new members, right?
5 new members. We're excited.
I remember when you just got in, and now you're a senior member of the council. How does that feel? You're like the grandfather of the council now.
I don't feel that old, but it's nice to kind of have those years of experience to kind of navigate through the waters at the city council. I really enjoy what I do, and I look forward to working with the new 5 members.
Right.
We're gonna have a new leadership, a new type of way of how we interact, and a new mayor-elect, Glenn Jardy. So and we definitely have challenges with COVID in our economy.
What's the biggest challenge with COVID from a city council's perspective, the island of Oahu?
Yeah, the biggest challenge has to be, one is, to date, from the mayor, we heard we were going to utilize over 94% of CARES Act funding, thanks in partnership to Congress and the federal government of allocating funds to our local economy here. And so I think the biggest challenge is, utilizing those funds, but what comes after that as well, and how do we rebuild and how do we manage that? Real property tax is a big source of revenue for us. So if we have shortfalls, then we're going to have to make some of those tough decisions going forward, budget-wise.
Okay, well, I'm really happy you're in office, and we've had a great partnership on a number of issues, and I look forward to continuing that. So good luck.
Thank you, Congressman Case. Aloha.
So you don't represent the watercress farm down there?
No, I don't, but I could.
Yeah.
I'm close enough to.
That's
to
some of the
consider
only
them.
agriculture in my entire 1st congressional district. So I always cite the watercress farm as the source of my authority on agriculture.
It's a great example of a family-owned farm.
Yeah.
And that's what we need more of.
Yeah. How long have you been in the State House now?
I just got elected to my 5th term, I've just finished 8 years.
And what are you up to this particular
Well, I just got named. The House has reorganized some of its committees, so I've become chair of its House Higher Education and Technology Committee.
Oh, great.
So I'm looking forward to, being of help to our higher education system, the UH, community colleges. Maybe we can be a hub for attracting more international students. And technology, of course, speaks to the need for our state government to modernize technology-wise.
And is technology, when you say technology, you're referring not only to government modernizing, but also to having the Holy Grail, which is an actual critical mass technology industry here.
That's why it's paired with higher education, because one of the great future economic drivers, we hope, will be the high technology sector for our young people to develop their STEM skills that they learn in high school, apply them at the University of Hawaii or community colleges, and move on from there onto entrepreneurship.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think both of those are untapped potential areas, and we've been talking about this for a long time. So I hope you can, higher education, not just to educate our own, but as an industry for our state.
Absolutely.
It's actually far larger than most people realize today.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's heavily impacted right now by COVID-19, and we're going to get through COVID-19 to get it back on speed. But the higher education contributions is an export industry for our state, both public and private. So,
I think
and the federal
exactly
government
right.
has a part in that. So I look forward to working with you on that. And like I said, technology, we've got far more world-class technology going here in Hawaii than most people realize. But man, we could do so much more with a little bit more focus on it, and it does take a federal state private sector partnership, which I think is very promising.
Yeah, just something you mentioned about the University of Hawaii is the fact that, and you're right on point, because people forget the fact that the UH is really one of the jewels of the state of Hawaii. It's in the top 1% of the research universities in the country, and if not the world. And so it should be a center for those who want to study ocean sciences, environmental science, climate change. That should be a real attraction for people scholars and students throughout the world to come to Hawaii.
Yeah, no, there's all kinds of reasons to push this. So tell me a little bit about what's happening here today.
Okay.
And tell me a little bit about your district and the impact of, COVID-19. What do you worry the most about in your particular district?
Well, in the districts of Aiea and Pro City, one of the facts demographically is that we have a higher ratio of elderly residents, one of the highest in the state. And so what's happened is many moved in the 60s and 70s when subdivisions in Pro City and Aiea were just built, and they stayed, which means they're now in their 80s, 90s, joined by their children and grandchildren. And so the fact that the COVID-19 most severely affects the elderly really resonates with our residents, because they are the ones who are homebound. They're afraid to go out of their homes, maybe short of meals, groceries. So this is a vehicle for us to provide meals, fresh produce, fresh meats for those who are in need. Either they've been affected by COVID through their jobs, or by the fact that they're afraid of getting ill, and that's applies largely to our elderly population.
Do you think the needs have changed at all during COVID-19? Are they more than at the beginning, less, about the same?
Oh, definitely. Our office in the past several months since COVID-19 struck, we've been able to help 50 to 60 people who have come to our office and said, look, we need help getting unemployment insurance, getting PUA payments. And so these are the ones who've been unsuccessful in trying to get through the system. So like I said, 50 to 60 of them have come through our office. And that, to me, is just a small percentage of the actual needs.
Well, I won't even tell you how many we've had in my office.
I'm sure.
Especially on the unemployment side.
Definitely.
If I take a look over the last couple of months at where the real concerns are, I would say 90% of the people calling into my office right now for individual assistance are all related to unemployment.
And that indirectly speaks to
Speaking of technology.
Yeah, to modernize our technology system. Because up to a year ago, when our unemployment rate was the lowest in the country, who would have thought that maybe we should modernize our unemployment system then, which would have been ideal. But now that it's struck and we have, hundreds of thousands of people, or more than 100,000 people unemployed, now is when the system crashed because of the simple magnitude of people applying.
Yeah, I think it's a very tragic example of the old saying that the time to invest is in good times.
Absolutely.
Not when the stuff hits the fan.
Yep,
And that's
I totally
exactly what
agree.
happened to that. We've been talking about this for actually probably more than 10 years, I think, modernizing our computer system. So anyway, good luck with that, and appreciate serving with you in the partnership.
Thank
good
you,
luck.
and same here. Look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ed.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Senator
Appreciate your
Misalucha was appointed by Governor Ige about less than a year ago, and
July
now you've
2020.
won election in your own right. So welcome to our world for real.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
I'm humbled by the fact that our community supported me. Obviously, I love the work, the policy work, as well as the constituent work. I don't like campaigning, just to get it out there. Who does, though, right?
I like campaigning.
You do.
Well, I
You
like
do.
certain parts. I like the personal side of campaigning, which
Yes.
I miss immensely.
Yes.
So some of the campaigning is not my favorite, but
I love
the ability
I love
to get
sign
up.
waving.
Oh, you like the sign waving?
Yes. I would sign wave in the morning and afternoon. I'd wake up at 5, be there by 6, and then in the afternoon. And you get a sense of validation
Oh,
when
yeah.
we hear the honks and you see the waves. And in this time of pandemic, Congressman Case, it was difficult to
Yeah.
even canvass, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there was no canvassing, so
Yeah.
we had to rely on sign
Yeah.
waving banners,
Yeah.
as well as
Did you
the
get
good
any
old
thumbs
mailers.
down? Did you get any thumbs down sign waving? A
We
few.
did. And you know what I would say? I love you too.
So what I used to do with all of the sign waving I've done
Yeah.
in my career throughout the entire state.
Yes.
And so when I used to sign wave with Audrey,
Yes.
when we were really like, this is getting old. So
Right.
I would count how many cars went by, and she would count how many people waved back. And we would develop a percentage.
I see.
So like, what is the percentage in Hilo? What is the percentage in Kauai? What is the percentage in
Interesting.
Pearl City? And of course, you're going to ask me now where the highest percentage was. Molokai,
Oh, well,
96%.
well, you know.
I didn't win Molokai 96%, so there's no correlation, I don't think.
Funny thing is, because there's no, you can't see your face.
Yeah.
So I had to rely on my body smiling. So I would be so animated.
Yeah.
I think I was the most animated sign waver there ever was. And as far as I saw the difference though when I ran. I had very little name recognition. I was more recognized in the business community and the downtown area. In this district, not so much. And so I had to make sure that we had name recognition in the beginning. Right, very few people waved. But when I was doing my mahalos at the end, you see the vast difference.
Well, people were glad of their choice. Okay, anyway, to the subject at hand.
Yes.
I'm told that you are actually the conceiver and founder of the food event that we're doing. So tell me a little bit about what came into your mind, what you're trying to accomplish.
Well,
how do you put this together?
Well, as you know, and of course we did not do it alone, definitely, but the germ of an idea came when we were looking at all the horizon and we saw all the people who were negatively impacted by COVID. And we said, we got to make sure that we provide resources, no matter how little. So we said, let's look into, doing food distribution in our neighborhood because we haven't had one. And so
You haven't had any food distribution in Pearl City?
Not in Pearl City. Oh. I've heard of things being done in other parts of the island, but then we said, you know what, we need to have one because we have families who are in need. So we decided, we reach out to Aloha Harvest, and Aloha Harvest has the CARES monies, and so this is all CARES money, and we provided the manpower as well as the distribution network for them. So there are 2 events that are going to happen now today, November 14. We're also having one on December 5. So we have a smaller number of recipients for this one because this is like a pilot, a test. At December 5, we're going to have 500, maybe even more. So
how many is today?
Today's 400.
400.
Yeah. So hopefully
that's 400 families that have needs.
Correct. And so the need is great. We're also having one actually in public housing, and the reason for that is most of those people at public housing do not have cars, so how can they do drive-by?
Right.
So we're having another one there, December 11, for them. So that's more like a different one where we actually have to deliver at their households at each of the doors, so that and so there's a whole new dynamics that is involved there. But I am just so in awe of the spirit of love and support in this community. We called for volunteers. We have 100 volunteers right here. And we've had to actually turn down volunteers. So you know what that tells us is the spirit of aloha that's embedded in this community. And not to mention, I think there's a capacity that perhaps we need to do more of these so that more people can show that they care and help.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you again for your service. I'm personally so happy to see you in public office, and certainly expecting great things of you, just as you've done with the rest of your life. So you got all it takes, and I look forward to the partnership with you.
Same thing, and I want to echo your sentiments for you because I feel the same way, the same sense of aloha for you.
Okay.
For all the things that you do in the community.
All right, aloha.
Thank you, aloha.
My district runs basically from Fort Shafter to Pearl Ridge Shopping Center. So this is
the edge of your district.
Correct.
Okay. And what's happening here today? What brings you here today?
Well, really, really exciting. Under Senator Misalucha's leadership, we organized together as jointly communities of Aiea and Pearl City a food drive for those who are in need. I mean, we've seen so many families and so many individuals who are struggling to cope with COVID, and it's taken its toll, particularly in basic necessities and needs. So today, folks are going to be able to drive up and get some of those needs fulfilled.
Do you see a lot of needs in your representative district?
I do. I have an older section of Aiea that's sort of the remnants of the Aiea sugar mill. So my section, besides a lot of condos around Pearl Ridge Shopping Center, is a lot of older IAEA residents, longtime families, and those who just have some greater needs as a result.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about what's going on in the state legislature, COVID-19 wise.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be a busy time at the legislature. We're having to confront, just like Congress, all kinds of new and unforeseen challenges. What that looks like, we've actually in the House created an entirely new committee, the Committee on Pandemic and Disaster Preparedness Issues, just to specifically focus on that. That's being chaired by Representative Ichiyama, who's been doing a lot of great work. But as we've seen, the pandemic touches so many issues, right? It's not just a labor issue. It's not just a health issue. So we need that kind of.
Okay, and you're the chair of CPC now, Consumer Protection and Commerce, and that's one of the major committees in the House. So first of all, congratulations and condolences.
Thank you. Yes.
I served on that committee when I was in the state legislature, and I think I served on it for six years. It's a tough committee. So best of luck with that, and really have appreciated our partnership on a lot of issues to date, and look forward to that continuing. So thanks for your own service, and you might have heard in the background people are coming, so it's time for us to get to work.
And thank you for all your help. We appreciate you.
Aloha.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit, just confirm where actually is your district? What is your district?
Mine is Pearl City, Waipahu.
Pearl City, Waipahu. And
I voted for you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, I don't live in your district, so I didn't have that opportunity.
Otherwise, my wife and I would have voted for you.
To reciprocate.
We think highly of you.
Thank you very much. So do you represent all of Pearl City? Do you represent all of Waipahu
no,
also?
I have the part of Pearl City is split. So the Waimano Home Road.
Oh yeah.
Anything on the left side, the other side, which is the Manana side,
right.
Mine. Anything on the right side, which is Momilani, it's Senator Misalucha.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I have all the way up to Palisades. Yep.
I remember walking all of Palisades once, going door to door. That was really a fascinating. I really enjoyed going door to door and Palisades. It's bigger up there than most people realize.
Yeah,
a lot of houses.
It is.
Well, tell me a little bit about your district and how it's been impacted by COVID-19. What are the things you're focusing on, really?
Apparently Waipahu is one of the communities that have a fairly high percentage of COVID cases. And the major project for the city is the rail, so we can see it going. They run the rail system periodically to do their checks on it. So occasionally we see it running. So hopefully, there's 2 stations in Waipahu and 2 in Pearl City. So of the 21, we have 4 of the 21 stations. I think they're pretty much nearly completed in doing it. And
you have the one major station, right? Highlands.
Yeah, we have that. The Highlands one is the one.
So you're, obviously huge decisions to be made on the rail in the next couple of months.
Yeah. And
you got a magic solution that nobody's thought about yet?
It's called money.
Well, I think maybe that's the case, but where does it come from?
Well, they had federal dollars allocated to it, like 1.5 billion, but the transportation agency is holding back on about holding back about a little over
federal
750 million.
Federal Transportation Transit Administration, FTA. We've been working very, very closely with them on that, and they're worried right now about the project's basic viability because of the P3 bid. So it's a very, very tenuous, dicey time for.
So they need to get that figured out. And then
how about just COVID-19 related? What kind of issues? You've got. I assume it's public health and the economy, and you have a lot of senior citizens in your district as well that have their own unique needs.
You get a number of people that live. They live in the community, but they work at Waikiki. So they're out of work.
Right.
And then you got all these other small mom and pop stores that are shutting down or.
One of the biggest concerns that come into my office that it's frustrating for me because I'm on the federal level, I don't have a direct role in it. So I can't just, sit there and, order something to be done, is the unemployment.
Yeah, the
system,
unemployment's
which
a big
is
issue.
which is owned and operated by the state. And I would say that of thousands of people that call my office for help, the last couple of months, 90% have been about unemployment, not hearing
Right,
back, not
right.
not getting benefits, not knowing basically what's going on. These are
Right.
people that have been waiting for months and months and
I
months.
know.
What's the problem and what's the answer there?
You know, I think that's what we'd like to know why. They've certainly been given financial resources to bring the system up to speed so they could process the unemployment at a faster rate than they have been. But it seems like every time they come up with a little different program, then people have to get reset back to the new program and they start all over again.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can finally get their act together and they can finally get these people.
You think the
there.
resources are there for it to work? Like the actual funding for the
personnel and
administration of unemployment?
It seems like they have enough people, but it's the process of how they determine to verify that these people should get it.
Right.
And so consequently, because people haven't been getting it and they've tried everything they're told to do, go online and do all of that, they contact my office.
Right.
And I'm sure some of the other representatives too and senators to say, hey, can we do something about it? But all we can do is refer their names and their what they send us
Right.
to the UI and see if they can get to work on it. But then they don't want us to keep calling them back on the same person.
Right.
So once
Right.
we do the initial,
Right.
we can't do much more.
Okay.
for
Well,
that.
if I could, communicate one thing to you as my state partner, I hope that a lot more focus can be directed at how to fix the unemployment system
No, I
in the
think
state,
so, because
that's the number one complaint that
Right.
comes into my office.
And
right
they
now.
are concerned that by the end of December, the CARES money runs out.
Well, that won't. The federal at present, the federal benefit has already run out.
Extended.
Although people are
Oh,
still
dear.
eligible for it. So we're really talking at this point about the state unemployment benefits. Those are not subject to the CARES Act deadline at the end of the year. So this is going to go into your next session in the ledge. Well, thank you so much. It's been a great privilege to partner with you along with my other colleagues in the state and county government. So I look forward to it in the remainder of time that we both have in office,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
Yeah, when you see Representative Kahele, tell him that Clarence Nishiara said say hello.
I will. We have that on tape, and we will send it to him.
Very good.
Congressman-elect Kahele is going to be a fantastic addition to the congressional delegation. I've been working with him for a couple of months now to try to make sure that he is the best prepared and member of Congress that ever, entered Congress, and he's already hitting the ground running. As we're taping this today, he's in Washington, D.C. on his member orientation, and he's already making a really positive impression on my colleagues up there, I can tell you that. So it's going to be, for me, a great advantage to partner with him on behalf of Hawaii, along with the rest of our delegation. So, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You did a great job.
Okay.
I appreciate your performance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay, Kelsey, tell me a little bit about who you are and what we're doing here today.
Oh, perfect. My name is Kelsey Poaha, and I am with the Pearl City Community Association. So we were part of the food harvest or food distribution drive with IAEA Community Association, where we're hosting this event for both of our
So it's
communities.
Pearl City and IAEA
Pearl
coming
City and
together
IAEA.
for this right here.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So how long did it how long did it take to put together? It looks pretty well organized here.
It's actually been very well organized, and we've been doing this now for a little over a month. We've been trying to
getting ready for
get
this
everything
event.
all together.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we do also have another event coming up on December 5th. So it's a two-part.
And you have like 100 volunteers here today, right?
Almost 100 volunteers.
Oh,
yes.
wow, that's so cool. So tell me a little bit about. I mean, we're sitting here. We just started the food drive as we're talking. There's a huge number of people that are kind of backed up, and obviously a lot of need in our community here, right? Is that kind of what you perceive with the association?
Yeah,
There's a lot
we're
of-
very impressed with the turnout and the people that have registered. We have about 400, close to 400 people that have registered for the event. And
have you followed traffic?
we've been wanting to serve our communities in this capacity for a while, and it's really nice to have this kind of opportunity to bless them in this way. So it's nice to know that there are people in need all over the place, and that there's services out there that can offer that.
And I'm particularly happy that the food that you're distributing today comes from the Federal CARES Act funding. So this is money that our federal government sent to the state and the county that found its way to the folks that gave you the food today. So for me, having, sometimes when you're in Congress, you're just kind of voting on something, but to see it actually happen, I think that's pretty awesome.
It's very awesome. It's rewarding, and we want to thank you also for just making that happen. It takes a lot, I understand, to come through the channels, but we as a state here, we're thankful that we have people like you to represent us and to be efficient in making things happen.
Okay, well, thanks so much for doing this. You guys are doing an awesome job, and thanks for allowing me to join.
And thank you for coming. We appreciate your help.
Hello. And for me, it's a great opportunity to really witness the federal assistance that has come out of the CARES Act, because the food that we're distributing here today was financed by the Federal CARES Act. So for me, it's the difference between a vote in the U.S. House and actually seeing that federal money in action for folks that really need it. Okay, thank you. I'm told I'm here with the mayor of IDEA.
It's much inflated. You do one good thing and then people get all excited.
Hey, that's what happens, man. When you step forward to lead, everybody just says, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So tell us who you are and why we're calling you the mayor of IDEA.
I guess it started, my name is Claire Kamamoto, and I always throw this in and people say, old time IDEA people know what it means, but I'm originally a Toyofuku girl. So our family has deep roots here. My mother was a postmaster of IDEA for 53 years.
So we're talking about IAEA sugar.
IAEA sugar.
Right. That's a lot of people don't know that IAEA was a sugar plantation.
See,
there
logo,
you go.
Our logo,
IAEA Community Association.
Right?
You got the mill there
we
still.
We have the mill as a reminder to the politicians and whoever else in our community that we still have hopes for being that property to be the center of our community as it once was. So it was, to us, it's all about building a sense of place. Because if you don't build a sense of place for the younger people, they have no idea why IAEA existed before. They think IAEA exists because of Pearl Ridge Shopping Center. And it really doesn't. It has a very rich history. We have fish ponds, we have watercress farms, we have a vibrant community, and we want to make sure that we don't get left in the dust with the new Kapolei Second City and the city pushing out from Honolulu.
Right. So how long has your family been in IAEA now?
Well, let's see.
When did they move there?
I am probably for over 66 years. My parents first moved
Are you
on.
like Sansei, Nisei?
I'm a Sansei.
Sansei.
I think so. I think I'm a Sansei.
Okay. All right.
But my parents were originally from the Big Island. So they, a lot of Big Island people moved off. My family was never a plantation family, but they were.
Where are they from? What part?
Honolulu and Hakalau.
Hakalau. Okay,
yeah.
I'm from Hilo, so.
Oh, okay. So Honolulu and Hakalau.
I know the coast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's happening. Oh, first of all, you're head of the IAEA Community Association.
Right.
You've done that for a long time. You've been a great partner of me and my office, and in all of the stuff that we're trying to accomplish for IAEA.
And I encourage anybody young to get involved. It's not that I've earned this gray hair legally or whatever, but it's not that anybody can't do the job. It's just that people sometimes get intimidated, and they shouldn't. they should step forward. I was just a normal person before. I didn't know the intricacies of, you know, working with government and all of that thing and being involved. We just had an issue that we wanted to deal with, and that's what we did. And slowly, to me, my motto is any little bit of help is better than none. So any little bit you can contribute is always, you know, always in demand and always appreciated, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
So we really started our campaign really with the IAEA Pro City Vision team, when we were asked to look at our communities and see what are the gems or the things that we want to preserve in our community. And Pro City, and if we looked at the two communities were very much alike. You know, older population, thoroughfares of Kamehameha Highway, Moanalo Road, and the freeway cutting through, and then residential on the top, you know, kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay, we'll move back just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all right. The interview has to adjust to this.
And so, you know, we highlighted the things that we felt were important to our community, like the fish ponds, the rich heritage that this once was. IAEA was once the seat of a queen.
Right.
You know, the McGrew Point area was where they came to do their respite. And so we wanted to preserve that. We wanted to preserve our Watercress Farm. There's a long history with the Sumida family. This area is named, like Waimalu is named for water. This whole area is freshwater springs.
And as we look right over there, there's the Watercress Farm, right?
Watercress Farm, and that's all fed by spring water.
Right.
And if you go down to the Pearl Harbor Historic Trail, you can see water seeping out of the ground. So, you know, that was another thing we wanted to link. So one of the first projects we did was the Pearl Harbor Historic Trail. We figured we would put a lei around the coast of Pearl Harbor, and we would have each community highlight the things that are their pearls, and why we should bring people past the Arizona Memorial into our communities as an economic engine. We didn't only want it to stop at Pearl Harbor and Arizona and then go back to town. We thought the communities on the west side had a lot to offer. And so that was one of the first things that we pushed, you know, we tried to do.
And I think this is a good example of how my office and on the federal side we can partner up with state, county, community associations, because we've worked with you and the community and, you know, your council members and state legislatures on two of the things you've talked about just in the last year or so. Number one, the fish ponds, to try to get them, you know, revitalized. For me, that's a lot about working with the Navy to make sure that they cooperate and understand the critical importance of doing that for a lot of different reasons. And then, you know, that trying to complete the Pearl Harbor Trail right there by the Admiral's boathouse, as we all did, and just the simple fact of trying to get just a little bit of the connection from there up to the road, so folks that are hiking or biking can keep going. So you know, I think sometimes people don't know what kind of goes on behind the scenes of some of these things. A lot of work, because, you know, you got to deal with the lawyers and the admirals and that kind of stuff,
and it's doable.
which is very, by the way, which has been very positive. So I think the Navy's been great on that. So tell me a little bit about today. What's happening? Okay,
so we decided the IAEA Pro City Community Associations, under the leadership or the idea of Senator Bennett Mishalusha, decided that we would have a combined food drive. A lot of our times we see our communities in need, but a lot of times they don't, you know, they don't come forward, you know, kind of thing. So we thought, you know, with the help of Pearl Ridge Shopping Center and the various community groups, we brought them all together, and we decided Aloha Harvest provided the food, and we were able to select 2 days, November 14th today and December 5th, to be able to pass out food. They had to register, but to people who have been negatively impacted by COVID-19, and just to get food out into our community. We know the free food won't go to waste, and a lot of our community sometimes holds back. They say, you know, there's somebody else that needs it more, you know, kind of thing. But this is, you know, it's been a good experience, I think.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. You know, we're still pretty early in the day, and probably 100 plus cars have already come through. A lot of needs here. Okay, well, Mayor Claire, thank you so much for your for all of your help, especially today, and we'll all get through this together.
Well, yeah, and I appreciate everything you've done for us because I think it's like, especially for the fish ponds and the trail, it's an example of how Native Hawaiians, the military, public, community can all work together and find a peaceful solution to things. As long as everybody respects everybody and gives a voice, I think we can all work together.
Okay, well, give me a few more projects. I don't have enough to do already.
Oh, we have a lot.
Okay,
But
all right.
Thank you very much. Aloha. Thank you.
Whenever I spend time here, I always love to come and check out the Sumida Watercress Farm. It just always reminds me the incredible diversity of my 1st Congressional District and how much is really just going on. It's not just the city of Honolulu, it's so many other resources and so much agriculture that people don't really think about it besides the watercress farm here. We've got vegetable farms throughout the district, nurseries and other agriculture, and of course some of the most advanced research on especially tropical agriculture in the entire world at the University of Hawaii. So for me, although I represent a mainly urban district, agriculture remains a top priority not only for my district but for the entire state.